Hello, and welcome to another episode of Outside in Your Garden with the Pleasantville Garden Club. I'm Gigi.
Hi everyone, I'm Michael, and today we're at a wonderful member, Elsbeth Linder's beautiful garden by the river.
And I'm in love with her shrubs that are here. And, you know, as an artist, when I do a landscape painting, I think about the big objects first. And that's what a garden is like. You plan those big objects, which are the shrubs, and there's no better place to talk about shrubs than at Elsbeth's house. So let's go and meet Elsbeth. And here we are with Elsbeth, standing in front of some of her bushes. Elsbeth, what is this one?
This is a hydrangea, and I don't know what kind it is. I probably should, but this is the hydrangea that the realtor gave us when we bought the house 9 years ago, and I stuck it in the ground, and that's what happened.
At 9 years it's then. And so is it colorful flowers?
It's a white bloom.
A white bloom. And next to it is a
spirea with a red flower that looks a bit shaggy now, but I won't prune it until it's had its first flowering, and then I'll cut it back hard and it'll probably flower again.
Right, okay. Hard, when you, 1/3 off, or?
Just down to a sort of ball-sized shape.
Okay.
I like ball-sized shape.
You like what is this here?
Gets the giggles. This is a pearl bush, and I suspect it's leading towards the light, but I like it there because this is the only northern facing shady part of my garden, and it brings great light when it blooms, as it is doing right now.
So you just brought up a good point. This is the shady part of the garden, and all of these shrubs work well in the shade.
Exactly.
Right. Including this amazing thing down here. What is that?
That's a dwarf fothergilla. I don't know how big a regular fothergilla would grow, but I just thought a small one here to anchor this strange bed that we inherited when we moved in was a good idea.
Yeah, no, it's beautiful, and I'm really impressed with this red one here.
That's a Japanese quince. I'm very fond of them. They attract a lot of bees, and I love the strong scarlet color. And that one had a scion, which is right behind us here, and is doing quite well, although that really prefers more sun than that is getting, I would say.
So this one gets more sun?
It does get more sun, yeah.
Okay. So Michael's going to show us now how you propagate these, because you make cuttings and you save them and you make more. And so let's cut back to Michael.
Okay, Elsbeth, we're here underneath your pearl bush, and you want to show us how to propagate a baby that's came up.
Well, some plants very kindly donate free children to us, and here's one from the pearl bush. I've taken several of these over time, and they grow pretty quickly. So I'm just going to pot it up for now, and then in a short while, once I've found a good spot for it, I'll move it into the ground and it can take away and turn into a version of its mother.
A new pearl bush. So you're going to keep this in the shade?
Yes.
Okay, and you're going to water it on a regular basis, frequently, yeah, for about 3 or 4 weeks? Till it gets some good roots?
Yes.
Yeah, it already has roots.
I was going to say, I could plant it now, but I think I'll give it a bit of time.
Give it a bit of time.
Grow
yeah,
a bit.
Lovely. Okay, and now we're going to go and look at other ways of doing cuttings and how to get more shrubs. Okay, Elsbeth, here we are with your dwarf deutzia, and this one has sent out a couple of different stems, hasn't it? And you're going to show us what happened?
Yes, this is another wonderfully generous plant that propagates in a slightly different way. So it sends out these long runners, and they root all on their own, which is marvelous. And sometimes I encourage them by just putting a stone on top of a runner, and that will root eventually too. So this one's nice and firmly in. I'm just going to cut it from the plant here, and I'll leave that on for now, although I could trim it, and just dig it out with its roots attached. And that's a brand new plant ready to go.
Isn't that great? So we've got a lovely new deutzia, a dwarf deutzia too. This is a beautiful white flower. It's just about to bloom, and it's going to be lovely. And we've got another one. Okay, Elsbeth, we're here. We're going to do a softwood cutting, right, from this amelanchier?
That's the plan. Another way to propagate is to take these softwood cuttings, and you can combine the taking of the cuttings with the useful pruning of the plants.
Right.
So I often plant the bits that I've cut off plants when I'm pruning them, and quite often they grow, depending on the plant. So this branch of the serviceberry looks as if it's heading in the wrong direction into the plant, which we're not supposed to do. So I'm just going to cut it off randomly, quite low down here, and then we can look at how to plant this as a softwood cutting when we get to the table.
Yeah, and that's excellent too, because it's now opened up this airspace in the middle of the bush, which will be much better for the bush in the long term.
So
good, let's go to the table. Okay, so we're here with this dwarf deutzia that we just dug up. And Elsbeth's going to pop it in a pot, right, Elsbeth?
absolutely, it's got lots of nice roots in it, and here's a pot I prepared earlier, so in it goes. And the fact that a bit of it sticks out isn't a problem. We'll just pack it down and it will grow away. I'll water it in a bit later. And here's one I did a few weeks ago,
So we've got
just
two
to
of them
show
now.
how they look.
Great. Okay, so this is the Amelanchier that we just cut, and in the meantime, Elsbeth also cut us a little viburnum, and we're going to put them both into this pot here, Elsbeth.
Okay, the way I learned how to do this is that you need to have a number of nodes where the leaves pop out on the softwood cutting, and you need to start with a couple of nodes right at the bottom. So you just pinch off any leaf growth that you've got all the way up.
But
Or if you have to
but
pull
the
it,
nodes are still there.
the nodes are still there, and if you have to pull it downwards
Yep.
rather than upwards, because that avoids tearing, she said, ripping. And then you take off the top growth, because you don't want that,
No. So you want to leave it with just a couple of leaves at the top.
to help you identify what it was you were mucking about with in the first place. And then I find they grow best in a square pot in a corner, so you don't want to use your actual cutting to make the
hole.
space. I use a chopstick. I just pop it down as low as it'll grow,
And push it into the
push
corner.
it in tight, and then I will water it and put it in a shady place.
And we can do the viburnum as
Same
well.
with the viburnum. I'm going to cut it below the node and then take off the leaves and take off the top and pop it in a corner. Same deal. I could get 2 more in there. I probably
we could
will
have
later
4,
in the day.
And then we'll have 4 new shrubs.
They don't always take, but you know, the hit rate is pretty good. Just put them in a cool place and wait. Water them and wait.
Thank you, everybody, for learning how to propagate shrubs with Elsbeth. Thank you, Elsbeth. That was wonderful.
You're very welcome.